Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another of my PlayStation 4 reviews, and today I am reviewing WWE2k20. Now, my history with the WWE games goes back a long way. I've been a fan of WWE for a lot of years. I don't follow it as closely as I used to. However, my first WWE game that I remember buying for the PlayStation 1 was WWE Warzone, and I played that to death. Ever since then, I have bought every single WWE game that's pretty much ever been released annually, right through the SmackDown vs Raws, right up until 2K took them over. I've played them every single year, and if you look back on this channel, I've been reviewing these games on the channel since WWE 2k16, and each year, certainly since 2K took over, there's been a gradual improvement, and I thought last year it was really heading in the right direction, and I think my review reflected that. However, you may or may not be aware that this year's game is not being particularly well received by many, and the main reason behind that is Ukes has left the development team and it's just 2K now, and they've been kind of left in a bit of development hell, and this game clearly would have benefited from another 6 months development on this game. It doesn't feel finished. However, it is not a terrible game. There's a lot here for you to enjoy if you are a fan of WWE wrestling in general. Now, the first thing you notice when you start playing this game is it does look and feel very similar to the last few years. They have tried to change it up this year. You've got the 2K originals, which I'm more of a simulation fan, so I prefer to see the simulation side of the game. I like universe mode is my favourite mode. I like to have my own WWE universe, if you like. But the 2K originals it's kind of like battles and stuff with like monster versions of the wrestlers in like Halloween versions of arenas and places like that, and it's going to change it up, and it's going to make it a lot more fun for a lot more people. It might draw more people into the franchise, but for me it's not a huge selling point. The WWE career this year is I personally think it's a step backwards. I'm not enjoying the career this year. I don't like the writing. It's cheesy as hell, and some of the cutscenes are rendered so poorly it looks like last generation graphics, and I'm just not enjoying the career mode. I want a career mode where you can take it seriously and be like a WWE superstar, you know, starting your career. And I like the way they're like heading towards WWE Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff, but for me you might love the career mode. For me, I think it's a step backwards personally. It's not worked for me. The towers make a return, but I wasn't a big fan of them last year. I've tinkered with them this year. Similar sort of thing, just expanded on it a little bit. You've got your online games as well, which is, you know, if that's your sort of thing, you're not going to be particularly disappointed. I played a couple of games online just to check it, and the servers were fine. I didn't have any problems or any freezes, sticks, crashes, anything like that. So all that's working fine. You've got your creation suite, you've got all that stuff. There's a lot of familiarity here from previous games. For me, the biggest disappointment here is the fact that universe mode it's exactly the same as last year, other than they've expanded on the match size, so you can have more matches on pay-per-views and things like that, and you can have mixed tag matches now, not just in universe but everywhere, which is a nice addition. But that's the only difference they've made. There's no fresh matches. The roster is thinner than previous years. They've taken out a lot of wrestlers, and inexplicably. And let's talk about, I think, the bugs. There's lots of bugs. They're just everywhere, and I'm giving you some examples here. I mean, you can see there Brock Lesnar is stuck in the ladders. This happens all the time. They get stuck in the environment. They get stuck in each other. It's poor. Some of the cutscenes and the career mode you can see here, just check out the hair graphics here. It's just absolutely shocking. Some of the cameras, the wrestlers just disappear on entrances, and some of the graphics on the eyes and things like that are just absolutely shocking. The game is littered from top to bottom with bugs. There's no getting away with it. They needed more time to polish this game out. The graphics range from excellent to appalling. Some of the wrestlers look brilliant. Jerry the King Lawler and some of the others, some of the newer ones, look fantastic. And I think the fabrics look better than they have. For example, the clothes they wear on the entrance, like the jackets and stuff, the materials and fabrics look really, really good. But then some of the wrestlers look like last generation models. They look really cartoony and plasticky and like waxwork models. And some of the belts are like clipping through the clothes, which you never used to get on previous games. It just removes the immersion from the game, and it's really, really frustrating. So you get a mixed bag here. And like I say, they've removed some of the previous wrestlers. Where's Sting? Where's the modern Sting? We've got the old Stings, the one from 91 and 99, but where's the modern Sting? Where's the more modern Goldberg? They've done this through. They've just taken wrestlers out with no explanation. I want to play not just as Mankind. I want to play as Cactus Jack, and I want to play as Dude Love. Why can't you put them in? Where's British Bulldog? Where's a lot of these wrestlers that have been taken out, and they've been replaced with nobody really. Nobody of note really has been added, other than the Fiend, and even then he's a pre-order bonus that you'll be able to pick up once you start playing the 2K original stuff. But still, it's really, really frustrating. The showcase mode makes a return, and this year it focuses on the 4 horsewomen, which is fine and dandy if you like the showcase mode, and if you're interested in the 4 horsewomen story. I'm not that big a fan of the showcase mode. I'm not that bothered, so I probably will dabble with it a little bit. It's clear a decent amount of effort has gone in here, but some of the graphics for some of these female wrestlers, and especially the hair mechanics, are so appalling. It just doesn't enhance this mode at all. So there's lots of things here that is very, very clear to me that 2K needed more time to develop this game. It feels thin on the ground in regards to the previous years for the roster. Yes, you get some welcome additions like Hulk Hogan, which is very nice, but you only get one version of Hulk Hogan. And where's the NWO Hulk Hogan? Yeah, where's the classic Hulk Hogan from the from the Legend era, from the 80s? Where's that Hulk Hogan? You just get like the Hollywood Hulk Hogan version, and that's it. Disappointing. There's so much about this game that disappoints you, especially they stick out like a sore thumb if you've been playing these games for years like I have, and the level of detail sticks out like a sore thumb, and it just feels rushed and unfinished, this game, for the most part. They have tried to change up the controls as well, and I believe the explanation is to make it easier for newcomers. Fair enough. If I'm honest, by playing the game, I don't have an awful lot of complaints in regards to how they've changed the controls. You'll either get used to it quickly or you won't. I don't really see the reason they've given in regards to it makes it easier for newcomers, because it doesn't feel that different from how the controls worked before. But they've done it. They've changed it up, the controls. So there's a lot of this game that is desperately in need of patches. I think they could do with improving the character models. Like they're gonna reintroduce. My understanding is because the creator belt option has been taken out of the creation suite. My understanding is that is going to be reintroduced back into the game when they can figure it out. Apparently there were too many bugs when they included it. Well, there's a lot of bugs anyway, guys, in this game. But everything else you would expect to see in the creation suite. It's what you would expect. So I'm going to be brutally honest here. I don't think this is a terrible game. There's a lot of similarities with previous 2K games. It's just really disappointing. I was hoping for so much more, especially after last year's game. And what they've done is delivered it's a step backwards for the series. And when you consider that the PlayStation 4 is coming to the end of its life, they're probably going to get one more game here before they move into the next generation, into the PlayStation 5 console. They've got a lot to deliver next year. They really have. They've got a whole full 12 months to get this right and give the fans the game they deserve before we move into the PlayStation 5. Because you just know we're going to have 3 or 4 years when PlayStation 5 starts of bare-boned game till they figure out that system. So I can't be anything but a little bit disappointed with this game. Yes, I'm having some fun with it. I'm bitterly disappointed with the universe mode not being fleshed out, but it is still what you remember from previous years, the universe mode. And they've expanded the roster size so you can have like more matches on the card and things like that, but it's the same. So I'm going to have to just give this game a 6 out of 10, and I think it's the lowest score I've given a WWE game for a number of years. And the reason for that is very clear if you play it, especially if you're a veteran of this series. It's just a bit shoddy, it's unfinished, they needed more time to develop it, so can we have some patches please, and patch the game and make it better. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it useful. Thanks for watching.